Hello, 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 and welcome to tonight's show. I bring you greetings from the most wishful John G. Jones Grand Lodge, State of California, Ancient Free and Accepted Masons, and definitely Research Lodge number 147. We're back in the house tonight. I wanted to get on a little earlier, but family comes first. I have to take care of them grandkids, man. They be want to play, they be want to do a whole lot of things. I ain't even get a chance to really give me nothing to eat, but that's okay, because you know what? I'm going to pull out me a sandwich in a little while. So I don't want nobody saying it while he's trying to do a show, because I'm hungry doing this show, so don't be tripping. All right, I just want you to know I'm hungry. But I'm hungry, so I'm gonna be eating. You know what I mean? Be eating, man. I was so hungry. You know, man. We're gonna tonight. So anybody who wants to call in tonight, the number tonight is going to be 619-286-0642. It's the number to call in tonight. I want to make sure I'm good. Yeah, I'm good to go. Just want to make sure I'm all set up. And I'm working on some other things that's trying to make this go a little bit better. But if the video freezes or anything happens where I don't see it on my end, with you just frozen or something, because I've been having some issues with it, all right? So let's get right in. First of all, we're going to talk about the first steps towards being into Freemasonry. Okay, the first steps towards being initiated into first. No, my information is coming from the ancient Masonry and spiritual meaning of Masonic symbols and Masonic symbols and rituals. Okay, that's the book that I get most of my information from, because I think it's one of the best books out there when you're dealing with the ancient customs of Freemasonry. How one used to use it, and how the works was done then versus what we do now. So just so you know, okay. So let's get right into this. So the first steps towards the light in Freemasonry, it becomes a spiritual journey, okay? However, it is not to gain it is not to gain in the beginning. That therefore is not instructed to not instructed in an appropriate manner to approach these. He is taken back to the west. You know how you do your initiation thing, right? And you're told to go back to the west. There's a reason why you're told to go back to the west. And unless you've been initiated, you really don't grasp that reason, because you find that reason that you're told to go back in the west in your third degree. Now, if you have your Masonic ritual and you are a master Mason, the reason you're told to go to the west, that answer is found in the third degree upon your raising. Hear me clearly. The reason you are told to go to the west in your first and second step, the answer is found in the third degree. So when brothers ask you which way you are traveling, and you will hear it, and I know most of you like to say you're traveling east. Let's just say it. Most of you like to say that. But that's not really the right answer. And a lot of people are going to disagree with what I'm saying, because we've been told so long that that's the way you're traveling. But you're not. You're not traveling that direction. If you will get into your rituals, you will find out that you're traveling a whole nother direction. You got to realize that during that process, especially Master Masons, if you paid attention to your initiation or your raising ceremonies, those reference, those individuals, they didn't go east. They went in a whole nother direction. You have to remember, they was trying to escape outside the country. They was trying to do a whole lot of things. So they had to go in various directions. But there was one direction they was headed in particular. And they found the body in that direction. That's where they was at. They found the body in the direction for which they was traveling. Okay, that's the important thing, and this is what brings you back to the West into apprentice fellowcraft. You're always told to go back to the West, and you learn to do a few things in the West through the words of the senior warden. When you're doing instructions process, so when you become a master mason, in in a certain direction. So if you would listen to what I'm saying, I'm giving you an answer, but you can go back to the master mason degree. Now what I'm talking about. Excuse me just a second. Yeah, bro, man, I'm hungry. I'm telling y'all. So excuse me for eating. No, you didn't start in the West. Mm-mm. We started in the West. Nope, you didn't start in the West. Mm-mm. Wrong answer. If you want to call in tonight, like I said, the number to call in tonight is 619-286-4. I can definitely tell you, you didn't start in the West. Oh, we started in the South. Well, y'all killing me. I said, which way are you traveling? You said starting in the West. This other brother said in the South. That's the question. And if you reach a ritual, especially if you're a master mason, you would easily find that out. And that's the important. You also got to realize that when we talk about being raised, in Harriman Biff and all of the symbolism within Freemasonry, there was a lot of things at play. If you pay attention to your first, second degree, you'll find that when you get to that Master Mason degree and you find out what took place as Harriman Biff was trying to do his work, he was trying to escape, and he had to fight, and he had to do all these things, until finally he was laid. He was laid out, and he was taken somewhere. All right? And you got to realize, how many times was Harriman Biff buried? How many times was he buried? Can somebody answer that for me? I'm gonna take a bite of this sandwich. I'm hungry, guys. I'm just hungry, all right? Okay. What about Africa? The North is the darkest. Bruh, what I want to say and give you the answer, I can't give it to you while I'm here. That's going to have to take on the phone conference that we have. But I'll tell you what. If you're a Master Mason, go back and read that. It'll tell you which way you're actually traveling. Now, somebody mentioned Africa. Africa's in the east, right? Now, I've said this before. I'm going to say it again. And if you listen to what I'm saying, it's going to be funny to you, in a sense. So check this out. The only people that, I'm going to share this with you. The only people that this book really speak about is you. You're the only people that this book talk about. And I'm going to prove it to you. And it's relevant to today. If you ask a person who's Jewish, the Jews have never, ever been enslaved. Oh, no, the Jews have never, ever been in slavery. Ask one. They'll tell you, nope, they haven't. The Bible speaks of the Egyptians, right? Being enslaved for 400 years in a land, that's really not their own. They talk about people being scattered in places. We're the only scattered people across the globe. Okay, we're the only people who are not in their own land. You know, when people talk about go back from where you come from, yeah, I was born right here. I can't go nowhere else. This is it. Now, my ancestors, those who came before me, like way back when, I can say, you can probably say that for them. But for those of us who no, there'd be no going, this is it, baby. And you have to realize that there were still those of us, we was here already, some of us was here already. So when you talk about traveling as a Mason, you're talking about traveling from the east, right? We're the only people who are living in a valley that's dead and needs to be raised up. When you look at that, we're the only people who have been neither hook wink. Well, I could say we've been hook wink, all right? Blindfolded, right? With a cable tow around our neck, right? We was the only people led to a door of no return. So when you talk about that book, even in the Quran, it speaks of you. The problem is a lot of us don't relate that to us. We can't bring that into modern terms. So when you think about the ancient customs of Freemason, how was you prepared in all of your works? It's strictly about you. You know? So you have to take that into consideration. The works of Freemasonry is built to enlighten. It is built to not only enlighten it really, the works of Freemasonry, if you indulge yourself in it, it will change your life. Not necessarily the way you would say Christianity or being part of a religion will do, but I think that Freemasonry says, look, it's not about your religion, you know, and that's the uniqueness of the craft. But a lot of people get it mixed up. A lot of people believe that it's a people calling hanging up, believe that it's an occult of some sort. But Masonry makes you think. See, the only thing you're free to do is think. You're free to do that. You are truly free to think. And that's the truth. Most of us can't gather that. You know? I'm from the West and East and North and South. Correction. I'm sorry for the typo. All right, no problem, brother. No problem. Repeat the number one. Repeat number one time, bro. Okay, I'm going to repeat this. All right. Which, in other words, as a Mason, really traveling. And I'm going to tell you right now, East is not where you're traveling. It's not. You're not traveling east. And I can prove it to you. And it's in your ritual. The ideal is that most of us often hear that you're traveling east from long ago, and that is not correct. You know, for each one of us is traveling upon the level of time. To each one of us is traveling upon the level of time. If you will open to the Master Mason degree in your ritual, you who are Master Mason will find out which way we are traveling. And it will be kind of shocking to you in a sense. That's my number one question. My number two question is, how many times was Harriman Biff buried? That's my number two question. And then we're going to get into some numbers and some spiritualities, because what happens is Masonry wakes you up. It wakes you up. You know what, bro? Brother Nicholas, you're right about that one, bro. We're traveling towards the grave. We each are traveling towards that grave. That's true. So, Brother Lowe, so number one is that which way are we traveling? Number two is how many times was Harriman Biff buried? It's so I want you to think about it, because we get into our rituals not only as inner apprentice, fellow craft, and Master Mason, but do we really take serious that which is before us? Because if you took this book I don't know where my Quran is at. Oh, if you took this book, and really indulge yourself in it, you will find out so much more about masonry. And the reason a lot of us don't do it is because we feel that, I don't know, I can't speak for everybody, but I would say when I first got into masonry, I didn't know a whole lot about Islam and the Quran and a whole lot of other what I would call religions. But as I matured into Freemasonry, I began to look at other religions and to see exactly how does it compare to the Bible, how does it also is accessible, or how does it manifest itself in Freemasonry. And I found that it does. The ideal is how many of us can actually take that and apply that. Again, West. And then yes, Walker, you're correct, Walker. We are traveling west. Absolutely. And yes, 3 is the number one. Is correct also, Brother Walker. Thank you very much. My chapter, my end in the Eastern Star at a risk to an end. Erica, Elizabeth, give me a call on my cell when you have a chance. That's 619-985-1184. Hit me up. Hit me up. I appreciate it. Now, you could take that and we're going to flip that and we're going to bring that towards the Eastern Star Works, right? So my brother said that we was headed west and it was 3 times, right? So if you're headed west and it was 3 times, so when you get into the Eastern Star Works, then you know when you're traveling that labyrinth of life, and I talk about it often, that means that those sisters will go with you as you move, as you travel. And when you wind some say walk in the labyrinth, I've heard winding the labyrinth. So when you do those particular works in your chapter, it is comparable to Freemason, because just as in the Eastern Star, they have a pillar and it's cut down. We have one also that's been cut down. All right. The pillar that I'm talking about represents Haramabith, cut down in life. Now I can't tell you the one that they're talking about that's been cut down in life, because this is why the works of the Eastern Star and the works of Freemasonry really go hand in hand. This is why I encourage brothers to definitely go into the works of the Eastern Star. I had a gentleman call me up. No, he didn't call me up. He inboxed me and said that brothers cannot be initiated into the Order of the Eastern Star. And I said, yes, they can. If you are an Eastern Star, it's on page 133 in that Eastern Star ritual. And I know there's a couple of rituals. One is Baal, and then there's another one. I have this one right here. This is my Eastern Star ritual right here. And on page 133, it has that journey for the Master Mason to get initiated into the rites. This one, I think, is from 19... Let me see. Because there's a couple out there, and I just want to get the year right, because sometimes they don't always publish everything. This one is from copyrighted 1928, 1952, and revised in 1980. So that's the one you want, okay? If you want to find that information in that OES ritual. And that, like I said, though, the uniqueness of both of them go hand in hand. This is why, brothers, once again, it is important to you to get into the Order of the Eastern Star, to understand the sisterhood and brotherhood and how it's connected. Because, as I've said, the labyrinth, not the labyrinth, but the point, each of the points on the star represents a point between the triangle and the compass. Each of the points on the star represent a point on the compass and square. It does. It really does. And you can count them up. There are 5. There are legitimately 5. There are 5 points. When you hold the compass and square together, there are 5 connecting points. If you don't believe me, do it. It's true. So, now, one brother asked the question, was the appending bodies important in Freemasonry? And my answer is yes. Because if you are 32, you're still frozen in the works of Freemasonry. When I say frozen, it is not frozen in the state of literally, but in the state of knowledge. Because I would tell anybody, those appending bodies, the York Rite or the Scottish Rite, are very important in Freemasonry. And I would encourage you, and I know a lot of people say, oh, you're going to spend more money. You're going to spend more money. Well, you know what? You are. You're going to spend money if you choose to go York Rite or Scottish Rite. I might as well be honest. I say this because from my own experience in being initiated into those rites, it makes everything full circle. And a lot of people say, well, the highest degree you can get is the 3rd degree. And I will agree with that. However, if you want more knowledge, more enlightenment on the arts of Freemasonry, you're going to have to get those appending bodies. Well, I'm not necessarily saying this. Yeah, you're right. It's not for her. But however, the problem we have with communication with our sisters is that we know nothing about each other. You know, there a sister cannot come to a lodge, but a brother can go to a chapter meeting. He sure can. And then what happens is a brother who's in a chapter meeting, he just doesn't get what the sisters get. You know, he doesn't. He can sit there all he wants to, but unless he indulge himself in the works, he won't get it. He's only there supervising. You know, really. But I tell you, a sister, if in her works is real deep. Her works is real deep. And this is what's important, is when you're able to have that real conversation with your sisters, brothers. So I encourage you, yes, go become an Eastern Star. Get initiated. I encourage you to do it. Don't just go and sit in their chapter meeting, but go get initiated. You know. Peace to everyone that's coming on. Oh, what's up with the phone tonight? Oh, just give me a call. You know, if you want to call me, you can call me now. You can call me after the show. Sister Erica, it doesn't, you can call me and if you got questions, you want to come on live, you're certainly welcome to do that also. And the number for the show is 619-286-0642. That's the show number for tonight. If you open and you want to call in, certainly you're welcome to do so. So, Square Your Action was the best thing I read. Oh, okay. All right, there you go. Look at you. Ooh-wee. I'm going to take another bite of this sandwich. For real. Yeah, that was the best book she read. And the thing is, there are not a lot of books on the Order of the Eastern Star, but there are some good books. Just not a lot of them. Okay. All right. So that's where we're at. And I'll tell you this here. I'm going to check this out right here. The teaching of ancient Masonry, in this respect, as revealed by symbolism. And I'm going to say this. Masonry, in the Order of the Eastern Star, has its own language. It has a language. The ideal is most of us don't consider it a language. The first language that man ever spoke was symbolism. If you don't believe me, you can go do your own research on it. I'm not trying to convince you. I'm just telling you what I found. I found that the first language amongst men on this planet was symbolism. What you think about that? And that is what makes Masons a unique fraternity or society of secrets, not a secret society, is because of the language that we speak. The same thing can be said for the Sisters. It is a unique language. And in saying that, if symbolism is the first language that is known to man, and we know that this language has been passed down from generation to generation since man has been on this planet, we leave artwork to describe things that man may have seen in visions. If you want to hide something, it is easily hidden in plain sight. It's just like when you greet a brother or when you greet a sister, you do it in plain sight and nobody knows what you've done or maybe even what you've said. If you know, it goes back to saying that you can find a Mason in the darkness or in the light. And how do you do that? Unless unless you are positioned or know the language. It's just that simple, because the language Freemasonry speaks crosses all barriers. If I drew a house on a piece of paper, I don't care what language you speak, you know that that's a house. And that's the uniqueness, once again, of the craft. You know, and even if you're a fellow craft, there is a part in the rituals that breaks down the Masonic alphabet. You know, the hieroglyphics of it's a great book to have. You know, also the symbolism of Freemasonry, where it actually breaks down what we do, and that's the unique thing. If you are an inner apprentice, right, your connection to the Eastern Star is based on that first point. Yeah, it's based on that first point. But because you never go to an Eastern Star meeting, or you never really indulge yourself with a conversation with an Eastern Star, you wouldn't know that. Brother Shahid, greetings. So that's what we have to consider. That's what we have to get up. The uniqueness of the whole is a fact and encourage you to do works, to do your study of what you know, and that just goes to say, how many emblems does a Master Mason have? You know, we talk about a few things, but there are so many emblems and signs and things like that involved in the craft. A lot of things brothers do. There, you know, as far as signs, as far as grips, you know, how would you even recognize a sister, brother? Because they got their own signs too. So if a sister was in distress or she needed some help, how would you know that, brother? You know, unless you remember, you know that was a sister in distress. You know, sometimes we have to ask ourselves these things, especially being a part of this great fraternal order. You know, a funny thing, if you was in an accident, brothers, and you was hurt, but you really needed some help, instead of, you know, we got our own thing. You know, people go out and try to wave down cars to pull over, but we have what we call a distress signal, you know, or when you really need to use that. If you couldn't use it, brothers, would you tell your wife how to use it? Something to think about. If you was hurt in an accident, brother, and you felt that the distress sign would grant you privilege and somebody would notice what you was doing and would pull over, would you tell your wife how to use that distress sound? Just food for thought. You can say yes, no, or maybe so. in the Order of the Eastern Star. This is what this is all about. Now, the topic, it says ancient masonry, but we talk about the Order of the Eastern Star here, and you're welcome if you want to, sister. Because some brothers may feel, well, she shouldn't be posting this or posting that. No, you're part of the family. You're part of the family now. Oh, not at all. No. So you mean to tell me, if you had no other way of getting assistance or aid, you wouldn't tell your significant other what to do as a Mason? You'll be surprised at how many Masons I found that said they would. Yeah. I just want you, I'm going to tell you what I'll do. I'll give it up. I'm being honest with you. If I needed some direct help and I couldn't do it myself, but there was my wife, oh, I'm giving it up. Hey, I need some help. Oh yeah. Oh, for sure. Brothers, don't think people don't already know per se. Don't think they don't know, because you have book Masons out there. Trust me, you have people who go by Masonic books and they read them and become very educated on the Masonic protocol and procedures. The only thing is, in order for them to really identify who they are, or you may want to find out if they're really truly a Mason, is that you're going to have to ask for a dues card. Something to identify themselves as just being a member. Not that they know the Q&A, not that they know the grips. The same thing go for the sisters. You got females out there who go get your books, who read them, become very educated on how to talk and how to do everything else. But what separates them is the fact that you have been initiated in the Order of the Eastern Star, and you know that you have that your membership card. That's the separation. Plain and simple. And your membership card should have a number on it. It should. I'm saying not all jurisdictions may have that, but I know in my jurisdiction, it has a number on it that you can call to verify that you are a member of this jurisdiction. We have that. Some may not. So watch out for those book Masons. Oh, it's some out there. It's some out there. And I'll tell you this here. There are some inner apprentices that I personally know. They would put a Master Mason to shame. And the Master Mason would tell that inner apprentice he know too much. But what are you supposed to be doing when you're an inner apprentice? You're supposed to be occupying your mind with useful knowledge. Well, he should be picking up these books and that book. Man, look. From me to you, I know in this jurisdiction, when we got an inner apprentice who's really, he's really pushing the envelope. This person is really striving. They're passing their Q&A. They're doing all of this. They're putting in work. They want to know what this thing is all about. We don't hold them back. We don't say, oh, no, get that work in. But you best know that you're going to have to know your works. Now, you're not just going to learn it and you remember it and you got it. No, you're going to have to break that down. And that's a lot of things some lodges don't do. You may do the Q&A, but can you break it down? The same thing go for the sister of the Order of the Eastern Star. And the sisters of the Eastern Star, their Q&A is harder than the male Q&A. Oh, yes. The sisters' Q&A is harder than the male Q&A. Because for every point, there's a sign. For every point, there's a word. There's Q&A for every point. You got 5 points. And I'm not talking about small Q&As. The point comes with a color and what that color represents. And the person who sits on the point, what was their life all about? And there's 5 of them. So you got to remember all 5 points and all 5 signs. You got to remember that if you're going to be an Eastern Star. Now, us brothers, yeah, we have a nice set of Q&As, but them sisters are rocking. And that's what's important about coming along and having that good time and fellowshipping with the sisters, because they rocking. They ain't playing with you. If you do, I will be writing. I won't come in again. No, sis, it's okay. I welcome the comments. The only way we're going to learn is when we have conversation. Because it's not that I know everything. I want to share what I know with everyone who's a member of this organization. And there are those who are on here who are not members, and there are those who are going to be watching this who are not members. But I want to show them the love that Masonry and the Eastern Star have. All right? That's what I want to show them. I know that a lot of people may see it differently. But this organization, the Freemason and Eastern Stars, have a lot of love for each other. Forget about what other people may say about this group or that group. But I'm talking about the true essence of the organization. Has a lot of love. It crosses all barriers, including race. Even though in Mississippi, my home state, where I know, they'll tell you where to go in a minute. I know that I've gone home and I've had great conversations with brothers who are white in regards to Freemasonry. I have. And we talked, and they knew. We had the conversation, and I think that's where everything stems from. If you don't have a conversation with anybody, how are they going to know who you are? How are you going to be able to travel if you don't do that? How are you going to be able to do that? And that's the beauty of the craft. That is truly the beauty of the craft and the Order of the Eastern Star. Sis, every time I pull up, you taking down some, sis. It's okay. Some brothers, I won't threaten anyone to hurt them in their works. Okay. All right. I got you. So what we try to do here is to definitely break down some of the things in Freemason that are not necessarily broken down so the common person could understand it. The common person. And I'll tell you what, one brother said that, illusions are two different things. They are definitely two different things, but one leads to the other. Allude and illusion. Everything in the Order of the Eastern Star, everything in Masonry is an allusion to something. When I say illusion, it's just like a magician doing a magic trick. They do it in plain sight, and you be like, wow, how did he do that? Masons do the same thing. Eastern Stars do the same thing. How is it, and I will speak for myself, that you can be in a place where you don't know anybody and yet find somebody? Huh? That's the beauty. You can be in a place as a Mason and as the Eastern Star and not know anybody and yet find somebody. You'll catch that on the way home. I'm just saying. I'm white, skinny, but I'm okay. All right. Duh. Oh, let that light shine. Peace, brother. Good. So if we take what we have as in this organization and don't share it, and when I say don't share it, what I'm saying is that if a person doesn't want to be initiated to really understand it, don't bring them in. But if you have someone out there that's hungry, that's really interested in this organization, who's knocking at the door, bring them in. Because that's going to be the one that's going to hold up your organization. Because trust me, a lot of us are on the way out. It's high noon for a lot of us, so you have to be able to pass that on. But what happens is I have a brother right now in New York, he's at quite a few different organizations in regards to Freemasonry. But because of his circumstances, they'll say, well, you know what, bruh, this or that. And I'm like, and then they want to charge him a lot of money. I'm like, no, don't do it. Family comes first. I'll tell anybody who's looking to become a Mason or an Eastern Star, by all costs and means, make sure that this organization doesn't take the place of your finances when it comes to your family, because it costs to be a Mason in Eastern Star. And most of the time, people don't find that out until they've joined the organization. And by that time, they're like, well, I'm behind 5 months of my dues, or I can't catch up. No, don't do them like that. During your interview process with anyone, you should tell them what the cost is going to be. And then see if can they afford to be a Mason? Can they afford to be an Eastern Star? Find that out. That's one of the most important things I think during the interview process that you can do for a person, is not put them in any type of financial bind, whatever so, because they want to be a member. Make sure that they have a stable job. Make sure that they're stable in life. And even if they don't have a stable job, but they're stable in life, you want to make sure that they're able to participate in the works. Are you able to make it to the monthly meetings? We're meeting for about 2, maybe 3 hours tops. And sometimes we may go a little longer, depends on the meeting and what's happening. Is your loved one going to be upset because you're coming at home at 12 o'clock at night from a meeting? Those are the things that needs to be taken care of at the point of the interview with the significant other. That is how we do it here. So if you're married, be it male or female, your husband or wife needs to be at the interview. You know, so he or she can understand what you're about to embark upon. And when you leave you cannot be leaving your books laying around, because they will get them and look at them and try to read them. You know, no, you don't want to do that. Don't leave your books laying around, you know, until you become a Master Mason. You get that other little book. Now, when you become a Master Mason, get that other little book, leave that laying around. I like to do that. Hold on, I'm gonna show you my other little book. I get a kick out of this here. And some of you may have it. Some of you may have it. I'm back. This is my other little book. I like laying this book around sometime, you know what I mean? Because if you don't know the works, you're gonna be able to read it. I like that little book. I just leave it laying around at home, and my son will come pick it up. He's looking, what is this? I said, read it. Oh, I can't read that. That's the beauty. That's the beauty. And when you become a Master Mason in this jurisdiction, we at the request of the Wishful Master, we'll give that to you, you know. But and I like leaving it laying around. I do. I like leaving it laying around. So people, when they get it, they'll be like, wow, man, what's that saying? You can read it? That's the beauty. I was told, I was on conference call last night. One of the brothers told me that the square is weak, that the square was weak. And he gonna have to do a lecture on that for me. One of your working tools, the square is weak. I don't get it. Maybe somebody can enlighten me on it. But I'm waiting for this lecture. Brother, my past master, Eric Sutton, was breaking that down last night on the conference call. And it was like, it was like, really? And I'm going to tell you this here. I'm going to start doing a conference call for the Sister of the Order of the Eastern Star also. Because I think that it would be more prevalent for them, where they can speak openly. They can, they can really break down the Order of the Eastern Star. They can help me. I can help them. I mean, it's all about growth, in my opinion. It's just honestly, Sister Elizabeth, okay. In this organization we call Freemason, we are all one under the canopy of heaven. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. But when you get into this thing we call Freemason, we say that we are all one under the canopy of heaven. That's a very true statement. The ideal is you want this. What you see in the mirror every day you get up is what you need to be presenting in your chapter and also your lodge. And I say that because when you're sitting in the chamber of reflection, it gives you that opportunity to reflect upon your life before you enter another phase of your life. And Freemasonry and the Order of Eastern Star is another phase of life. It is. It truly is. I have a neighbor around the corner from me. She just recently passed away. She was a member of the Order of the Eastern Star. I don't know what chapter, but I know that she was an Eastern Star because she has the tag, and we've had our conversations when she was doing yard work. Well, she was about 75, but she got sickly and she passed away. So I went and searched for her chapter, and I couldn't find her chapter. So her being Catholic, her being Catholic, the Eastern Stars and the Masons, is a no. You're not doing nothing. You're not saying nothing. So, but I I was able to assist and aid her. I was able to go over and clip her hedges. And that's the thing. It wasn't about my jurisdiction. I knew what jurisdiction she was from. I just didn't know what chapter she was a part of here. And so with her being an older lady, I'm quite sure they forgot about her because none of them came really by to see her. I could say none came by to see her because her husband told me none came by to see her. And that's the beauty. We just can't throw away our older sisters, our older brothers of the craft. We just throw them away. I don't care what jurisdiction they're in, because there are some things we have said in these obligations that we just tend to float. They just float away. They do. They just float away. My symbols in the fellowcraft, the square represents what we get. Weak in the compressions, what is represented, i.e. the square is weak. Oh, okay. Hey, see there? Thank you, bruh. Thank you. I appreciate that. I was trying to break that down. Like, where did he get that from? I'm still grabbing what I can, from anybody who wants to share the information. And I think we all should share the Masonic Star knowledge with those who want it. If you have somebody in your chapter and you know that they want this work, come over to my home. We're going to sit down and we're going to have a study session. Me and you, we're going to break this down. We're going to have a better understanding of what we're involved with. The same thing goes for the brothers. Organizations, some Masonic jurisdictions have what you call coaches. Brother Phil Bazier is our coach for our jurisdiction. We send all the brothers to Phil. Go see Phil. Phil is the older brother. He's about 71, 72, but he's so involved with the ritual, it's up here. He doesn't even have to open it up sometimes. But we all need the refresher. But he's able to just rattle it off, and when the young brothers see that and they see him as an older cat doing that, it puts an impression on them. So when you go to your OES meetings or your lodge meetings, you open up with notebooks. That's beautiful. Let me tell you, brothers, sisters, go to your chapter meetings and stop opening up with books. Put the books aside. Put the books aside and do it with no books. That's beautiful. As a matter of fact, in some jurisdictions, there's only one person that has the book in there in case you may need, like a reprieve. You want some words like make you remember what you want to say. So you may have one person in there with an open book. But if you can go to your lodge meeting or chapter meeting and there's no open book and everybody's on point, that is beautiful. And that is the essence of trying to be perfect in your works, And when you're able to do that as an intro apprentice or fellowcraft, regardless of the degree work you may open up on, that's great. And the same thing goes for the sisters. And the unique thing for the sisters is that once you initiate it in the order, you don't have to go back and try to remember anything else because you got it all right there. Now for the brothers, you have those 3 degrees, so you're trying to remember all 3. That's the difference as far as opening is concerned, because each one has their own little twist, you know. So this is what we're trying to break down. Now, if we can do that, and you can open without your books, you can open and do the work, it puts an impression on those new inner apprentices. It puts an impression upon those new members of the Order of the Eastern Star. But when you are fumbling and, you know, granted, some words in there you be like, nah, I'm not going to mess that word up. I'm being bluntly honest. What you do, or what you could do, is get you some cue cards and practice. Get you some cue cards and begin to practice on your opening, your closing, or even your part that you may have in your chapter or in your lodge. If you have a point, practice all the points. Practice all the points. If you are a point in the Order of the Eastern Star, practice all the points, because you never know what point you may end up on when you go to a meeting if a sister misses. The same thing goes for the brothers. If you are in the Master Mason setting, okay, if you are in the Master Mason setting, learn the works of your 3 officers, you know. If you're a Master Mason in the Master Mason settings, learn the work. Learn the work of everybody in there, period. So the Wishful Master may have you to sit somewhere. Maybe he may have you the acting junior warden, the acting senior warden. You're a Master Mason. He can ask you to sit in that seat. Yes, he can. The Wishful Master can ask you to sit in a seat if he wants you there, even if he got past masters there. The Wishful Master is his lodge. It is the will and pleasure of the Wishful Master that you sit as an active senior warden tonight, or an active junior warden tonight. It's his will and pleasure. But if you don't indulge yourself in the works in the book, it ain't gonna happen. It is not going to happen. But see, I would imagine long ago, during those ancient times, not this is modern Masonry, you know, this is modern, but during those ancient times, I would imagine that, oh man, wow, to be a part of something like that and to see that, I can only imagine what was being said, how it was being said or demonstrated. You know, because symbolism being the first language, I can imagine a process, you know, the foot movement, the hand movement. I can kind of see that, you know. You know, I'm grateful for this video. Well, I appreciate you. I really do. I appreciate you. You know, but as far as like the Eastern Star works, let's talk about the Eastern Stars just for a second, because even the sisters have their every station in the Order of the Eastern Star. They have emblems. You know, they have emblems. Let's take the treasurer has a key. That's an emblem, right? The warder has the dove. That's an emblem. The marshal has the 2 batons, right? The musician has something like a harp or something type of instrument for hers. That's an emblem. The conductress has an emblem in her star point. So all of those star points, everybody in there has an emblem that they represent. And the key thing is, if you take a look at the associate matron, look at her. She has the sun. Ooh, brothers, the worthy matron of the Order of the Eastern Star, no, not the worthy matron, I meant to say the associate matron of the Order of the Eastern Star. Her emblem is the sun. Oh, ooh, yeah, that's right. Check that out. Huh? What y'all think about that? If you didn't know, now you know. The emblem of the associate matron is the sun. Now, if I'm wrong, Erica, you got to put me up there. I don't mind. Brother Hawkins, I think you're a little off. You can tell me that. I'm okay with it. But it's the sun. That reminds me of one of the emblems in the Masonic works. That reminds me of one of their emblems. What's the emblem that the junior ward, no, the senior ward, what's his emblem? I'm just saying, you don't have to post it, but I'm just saying, his emblem, right? Where does he sit? You know? So think about that, and then let's just think for a moment. Even if you look at the worthy patron emblem, that I like the worthy patron emblem in the Order of the Eastern Star. That's beautiful. His emblem is the star with the compass and square on it, because the compass and square is hidden within the star. I love that emblem, being a past patron and a patron in another chapter, you know. And then look at the associate patron emblem in the Order of the Eastern Star. That emblem is simply the star. And on that star, it has all of the emblems of the 5 points. It has, let me break this down. On the emblem of the associate patron in the Order of the Eastern Star, his star point is, no, his star point. His emblem is the star, right? Now, upon his star, he has all of the emblems of the 5 points. He has the cup, the crown, and the staff. He has the sword. He has the barley. He has them all. I just named a couple, but he has. I named 4 of them. I missed one, but he has them all on his emblem as an associate patron. Oh, the sword. Thank you very much. The sword. I take that. I take that. Thank you. Greetings, everyone who's coming on. Greetings to everyone. The Tyler's position is the shortest. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, hold on. I'll be right back, family. I'll be right back. I should have some music playing. All right, I'm back. You know, when the wife calls, you know, you got to get up and go. I don't care what you're doing. You can be doing whatever you want to call it. The wife call, you better move. But anyway, so check it out. Oh, by the way, my wife is a member of the Order of the Eastern Star, and boy, we have some conversations. Oh yeah, we have some conversations, not just about the organization itself, but about the works of the organization. You know, so and that's another thing. Being married to a person who's in the Order of the Eastern Star. Now, how does it look for me to be a Mason and not be an Eastern Star? I mean, as far as being wanted to talk in regards to the works and try to help to elevate my wife or my sister in the order, but I can't because I don't know their works or I haven't been initiated into their works. No, I encourage every brother, go do that. Sister Erica, you got to stop now. You're killing me. You be putting up and then you be, oh, the cup. Thank you. There you go. I appreciate it. That cup. Some call that cup the bitter cup. And in this jurisdiction, we say you got to take the bitter with the sweet. The bitter with the sweet. Now, I say that because in this organization that we call the Freemason in the Order of the Eastern Star, sometimes, man, you're going to be like, yeah, oh, I love it. And sometimes you be like, you know what? I don't know if I really want to come back to the next meeting because y'all ain't right. You think long and hard, you be like, man, come on, sister. And you think about those things because you know common sense sometimes has to kick in. And if you're ever going to any of your chapter meetings or even any of your lodge meetings, sometimes you shake your head and you just want to walk out the door. But don't do it. Don't do it. You enjoy the organization too much to do it. That's the beauty of it all. Yeah, that's the beauty of it all. So when we're indulged in as a couple in this thing we call Freemason or Order of the Eastern Star, it gives us a whole nother conversation, because hey, let's be honest. When you want to talk about the organization to someone in regards to making it better or your jurisdiction and making it better, and you're at home and you're on the phone, and that other person, your significant other, is not part of the organization, they're going, we're trying to do this and we're trying to do that. When who is brother? The best thing you can do, sister or brother, is become a member of the organization yourself. Now, sometimes it's not good for you to be in the same jurisdiction. Let's just be honest. Sometimes it's great, And I say that because, let me tell you the reason I say that. Everybody is not going to always get along. That's why I said, plain and simple. Everybody's not going to always get along. My friends in my jurisdiction, my significant other I can't be around. No. Mm-mm. But she may be in another jurisdiction. And then I'd be like, no. It is no disrespect, but hey, sometimes you just, rub people the wrong way, or it just doesn't mix. It is not that you don't like them, it just doesn't mix. It doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen. Man, I had to eat that sandwich tonight. And I'm happy that y'all didn't get too upset. I'm chewing and stuff like that. I got one more sandwich to do too. I sure do. Oh, there's flowers and jewels and colors and signs and symbols. And that is what makes the Q&A for the Order of the Eastern Star so unique. Because every one of them have a sign, a color, and a jewel. Every one of them. The things on the Masonic side is I'm not saying that it's easy, but compared to the Eastern Star, it is. I had an easier time gathering and learning my Masonic information versus my OES information. I did. I it was just easier. But when it came to my my OES work, I'm still grasping it. Because when I go to my OES meeting, my worthy matron be on me, even though I'm a patron. And my job is just to assist and give her some instructions and make sure she's following the rules. But also, as a patron, it is my job to make sure that my sisters are what? Well governed and what? Proficient in their degree work. And they have 5 degrees. That's the customary way. That is the way the patron is supposed to handle his work. He's supposed to be proficient in the Order of the Eastern Star also. Yeah, that's right. He's supposed to be proficient also. So I'm hoping that, brothers, when you make that decision to become an Eastern Star, that you won't just become one just to say you are, but become proficient in the work so you can appreciate the sisters and help them along as they go. Oh yeah, Brother Shaheed, once you get in, bro, once you have made your journey, once you have done your thing, transferred over and got situated, and you're pretty stable, yeah, do that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the other half of my sandwich. So look, Yeah, get through all your Mason stuff, bruh. It'll be there. Oh, your wife is an Eastern Star, huh? Mm-hmm. Can you have a conversation with her? Who is that said there? St. Julian. Can you have that conversation with your wife? But you can also just ask and go to the social clubs. Yeah, you can ask and go to the social clubs. You know, I'm thinking you're referring to your. When I think of social clubs, when concerning the Mason Eastern Stars, I'm thinking about the luncheons and things like that. If I'm not mistaken, Sister Erica. Every now and then, when I'm not on the road working, all right, yeah, that's that. Shoot, man, sometimes that's the conversation that saves the day. Cause things just gets bored sometimes. That's the conversation. Hey, what's going on? Da 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 da. I heard da 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 da. That's the conversation that saves the day. Oh, Masonic quiz number 357. Talk to me. You said it is a beautiful thing, brother. I got my OES about 3 months after being raised. Whoa, that was quick. And I've been traveling ever since '08. Okay. Oh, '08. Bro, when you said 3 months, okay, I can put that in perspective now. Well, congratulations. I hope that you are enjoying the Order of the Eastern Star and its works and what they have to offer. Because it's beautiful. It is a beautiful works, you know. But like I said, though, I think their works goes a little bit harder as far as you learning those 5 points versus the brothers are learning. Wait a minute, the three officers per se, because we got those other officers too. You know, you got those two stewards and you got them two deacons, which gives you seven that we really actually supposed to know. I would tell you this in regards to myself. When I was my first job, my first place in the lodge was at the door. I was a Tyler. That was my first. I was the inner Tyler, right? Past master was outside, all right, but I was the inner Tyler. But from what I understood is that you're supposed to have two Tylers at the door, being both a master mason. No, being both past masters. My fault. At the Tyler's door, but that's in some jurisdiction. But I was told, hey, look, your first appointed position is Tyler. I thought they should have been the stewards, you know. But that no, my wish from master was like, no, we want you to be the Tyler. And I was like, oh, okay. You know. Yes, sir. I'll be set next month. Oh, okay. Good, guys. Okay, God's willing. Okay, Eastern Star. In March, after I'm ready for the York Rite, cause no, I need my past master's degree. That's right. That's right. Get it while the getting is good. Get it while the getting is good. I'll tell anybody, while you in this thing, get all you can get out of it. Have a ball. Have all the fun that you can have in this great organization. Because let me tell you, regardless of the jurisdictions, you're going to have a ball. Bar none. In this organization, regardless of the jurisdiction, you are going to have a ball. If we can set aside those small things that keep us so damn divided and look at the big things that we have in common. When I say the big things we have in common, the mere fact that we've all been initiated into this thing we call the Order of the Eastern Star and Freemasonry. If we can just take that along and say, look, no, I'm not in your jurisdiction, but I am a Mason. No, I'm not in your jurisdiction, but I am an Eastern Star. I've been initiated into this works, into the works. Think about that. But some of us get so hell bent on and swing the pendulum way this way. Okay, the generation with the light and love and virtue. It has been a fantastic conversation tonight and grateful. Oh, of course. I'm getting ready to get up out of this joint in a minute because I know it's late on the East Coast in it's a little after 9 on the West Coast, and I should have come on earlier. You know, look. My objective is to get on here about 6 o'clock my time, which is about 8 your time on the East Coast. And it gets difficult sometimes because I have grannies. They come over and they don't want to leave, man. Frozen. Are you serious? I hope. Am I still frozen or I'm still freezing? Brother Lewis? I hope not. No light on the 3 jumper. Ah. Oh man. Well, if I'm frozen and you guys still can hear me, oh man, I'm still seeing your post pop up though. Oh, okay. Brother Humphrey said it's not frozen. Oh, okay. Well, I hope it's kind of and done its thing. Oh, okay, okay. I appreciate it. Oh, I'm back now. Okay. I don't know what was happening with that. I don't. But definitely. Look, guys, it's been fun. It's been on here for about one hour and about 15 minutes. It's been great as always. I hope what I've said has continued to inspire you. You know, go for it. You know what's going to happen is that we are the change we want to see in the organization. If you are, hey, Christopher Jack, is it? But why are you up so late, Chicago time, brother Chris? Brother Chris, I got 30 minutes. Call me, bruh. 619-985-1184. We're talking about the Order of the Eastern Star tonight. So come on, Chris. Call me up, bruh. 619, no, that's my cell number I just gave you. 619-286-0642 is the call-in number. My fault there, bro. Oh, there you go. You called me Doc. Bro, I was trying to hook you up with the call-in number, but I got you right here. Hold on, okay? Hold on. All right now. I hope you all right. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir. Peace and blessings, everyone.
Yeah. Hey, can you say something, Chris? I don't know if everybody can hear you or not.
Can everyone hear me?
Your brother Chris, push just
testing 1 2 3 testing.
He's doing a testing 1 2 3.
What's going on?
Oh, okay. They say they can hear you. Well, Chris,
Okay.
Tonight I've been talking about the Order of the Eastern Star, of course, in the Masons. I was talking about the sisters having the sisters and their emblems within the star. And then I talked about the brothers and their emblems, because as you know, that the senior deacon has an emblem, the junior deacon has all of them have emblems too, and how they correlate, with each other. And I don't know how many brothers know that.
Well, I believe that the term "study to show thyself approved," it says "study to show thyself approved," not anyone else.
Mm-hmm.
So it's up to the individual to seek this order. That's why I spoke on that book by I forgot his name, but the name of the book is Freemasons Guide and Compendium. The Freemasons Guide and Compendium. That is a very, very strong book, and it speaks about everything under the sun in reference to the order and its symbolism, what it was in the very beginning, the powers of each one in their positions. But see, there's a difference between the jewel and an emblem. See, the jewel is what you wear.
Right.
The emblem represents the jewel, and the person wearing it must have that type of character. If you remember, I said never allow your talents to take you places your character can't keep you.
Right.
See, if you're not a well-respected person by your by your character and your conduct, you would make a horrible junior warden.
Mm.
Because he's basically the police. He's the one that keeps everyone within due bounds, etc.
Mm-hmm.
Just like the conductresses.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the word. A conductress. What does she do? She conducts.
Right.
It also has to be about her conduct.
Mm-hmm.
So in getting the emblem, I always ask brothers to study what the symbolism of the emblem is.
Mm-hmm.
Is the emblem you? There's a seeker, a knower, and a doer in the lodge. A seeker, a knower, and a doer.
But don't you eventually want to become all three?
Of course.
Okay, go ahead.
You know, one. That's why there's one step. There are two steps, and then there are three steps
Mm-hmm.
coming from the floor. That's why the altar is the only part of the room that never moves.
Mm-hmm.
It's in the center of the lodge. So when you look at that point within that circle, within those two pillars, does it not represent the formation of a lodge?
Mm.
Does that altar not supposed to represent you as a person? It says that you are the house not made with hands.
Absolutely.
So that's your character.
Mm-hmm.
So it's you put on certain. It's like when you put on those gym shoes. You all of a sudden think you can play ball until you get out there and you're a bum.
You know, man, you throwing them Chuck Taylors. You know they can make you jump higher.
Yeah, exactly. I got on some Jordans. It's like you got on a $500 coat, so your walk changes a little bit.
Yeah, it does.
Just like when you pull off the car lot. You got an $80,000 car with no garage and a quarter tank of gas. You think it's all about you.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But the esotericness of that is, it's your mindset when you look a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
When you have something, we all look different and walk different and act different when we got a check in our pocket.
Yeah.
When you don't have no money, you don't even want to do your hair.
Mm.
So that's the purpose of really when you're wearing something all the time. When you have on, I always have something on in the stuff that I do. I wear them for a reason, but I also wear them because I have to always remember that my job is 80% mental and 20% physical.
Okay.
So when the situation gets out of hand, I can't resort to head bust.
Mm-hmm.
I have to keep within due bounds. I have to subdue my passions, and I have to make everything more peaceful than what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So the collars, the emblems, the collars represent us coming from the west. Coming from the east.
Okay.
Unto the west.
Right.
The crowns, all of this. This is godliness. In all of the halls of learning, it says, seek knowledge from the cradle to the grave, but it says, know thyself and God.
Mm-hmm.
The collars, it says, know thyself first. The collars are just emblematical of the chains of value that represented your status.
Right.
See, I came up in the order. Every sister had a crown and a collar.
Uh-huh.
She had a collar with just an OES emblem on if she was a normal sister.
Mm-hmm.
If she had a position, she had her jewel.
Mm-hmm.
If she was a grand officer, she had double rhinestone. If she was a matron, she had single rhinestone.
Okay.
If she was a regular member, she had the little small tulip type crown.
Okay.
And then her crown got bigger according to her position.
Mm.
But no one's crown was bigger than the supreme matron. The grand matron's crown was a little smaller, but it was the biggest crown in the room. The matron's crown was smaller than the grand matron's, but it was the biggest crown in the chapter.
Mm-hmm.
So you could look at a sister from the distance and see who she was. Like, okay, I know who she is.
Right.
Now,
Gotcha.
you got sisters and brothers with rhinestones and all kind of stuff, and normal members because they figure they can afford it.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
See, so you don't have the I'm not a manager, but I got on a white shirt.
Right.
So that's why it's we miss all of the things that coincide together about the strict trial and due examination.
Right.
What is a strict trial?
Mm-hmm.
You know, I want to really know if you know what you're doing. It's beyond comprehension to ever ask a man, why do you want to be the junior warden?
Mm-hmm.
Why do you want to be the senior warden?
Mm-hmm.
Not an entitlement, not we just gonna pass this hat around, we just gonna move this thing around and everybody fight for the last seat.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you want to be the junior warden? Why should we elect you? Not why do you want it? Why should we elect you? What is it about you that you have the respect of the rest of the brethren to be in the South?
Mm.
Because you were a raggedy worshipful master. You were a raggedy past master. But now you want to be over, you want to represent the Grand Lodge.
Right.
You know, you were raggedy period, but you want to be in the, you know, so we don't pay attention to those things. We want to make everyone feel better, and we don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. You know? And so this is a brotherhood, as they say. I've heard brothers say this is a fraternity. I've never believed that. I believe it's a society. See, a fraternity, they take obligations. We take oaths and obligations. Fraternities don't take vows unto God. They take a vow unto the brethren. So, you know, God may be in it, but you're not saying, you know, I promise to, I promise to uphold, I promise to this, I promise not to defame. Right. Of that. You know, we don't uphold it all. The jewels and the emblems that we carry and that we have on us, I should be able to see you. You are a worshipful master. So what is it about you that's of worship? I should see God in you. And you are a master. So that means that you have mastered a lot of what it is that has gone on from you to get in there. You are a worshipful master. So you know, a true worshipful master is one who has his Royal Arch degree. But if you are just a regular Blue Lodge Mason, you are still sublime. You know, and as I said on the radio show today, you know, I've said before, a lot of us we don't pay attention to the verbiage of what's written. Just repeating and just going through the motions.
But like I said, we don't break it down. We don't go and look at what we have said and understand it.
What does it allude to?
It must be something in the air because I said the exact same thing. You know? Exactly.
Yeah, I was gonna go through the comments and listen to the program. I've seen a lot of the topics that you had. It just I was on tour a little bit, and then I was on another detail with some of the cast of a couple of television shows. So I've just been busy. I haven't been able to chime in or look at anything because I'm subscribed, you know. But I do that podcast. I do a radio show on internet radio.
Oh, I check you out, bro. I'll be watching you. I'll be watching you. Be putting it out there.
So,
for sure.
Yeah, I've had people ask me about getting my own show. I mean, it's not a problem. I probably will, and just deal with a lot of different serious issues. You know, I was a guest of someone else's, so when they're not there, you know, I'll do the show, and then I just talk about different things. So I'm just procrastinating doing it, but I just have to pick the day that I'm going to do it, and then make it happen.
Right, like you said, make it happen. You know, and that's one of the things. Even in Masonry, I was talking. We was on a conference call last night. We was talking about how your words can play a part in your life, whether you're going to be successful or not. And people often wonder, how is that? Because if you take and apply any of the scriptures, be it from the Quran or be it from any of the holy VSLs, that if you take those and you speak those, you can speak them to existence, and people don't grab that. People can't grab that. And
go ahead.
no, and I was going to say, in the point of not being able to grab the things that you want to happen and bring those things into existence, tell me you don't apply anything to your life.
Well, I use a lot of different mantras, certain different slogans that I try to apply to myself. One of them, in part, is mediocrity is for cowards. I always say that I try to treat everything in life like a bank account. I don't deposit more into it than I can see a return from it. I do that with people. I use mathematics, simple math. If Tony Muhammad cannot add to my life, then he's subtracting from it. If he cannot multiply my life, then he's dividing. But whatever he's doing, it must equal out, or it's wrong.
Correct.
That's simple math, and I apply that to everything. We make a lot of things hard. You know, we are easily swayed from simple talk. You know, as I said on the radio show today, no one in government has stopped working. So where's the government shutdown?
Well,
you got a man who said, I want this, and if I don't get it, I'm going to say that a lot of people can't get paid. And that's it. See, when you shut something down, ain't nobody working. But when you say you have to be prepared for everything. I'm prepared if I won the Powerball. I'm prepared if my mother passes in 5 minutes. I'm prepared if I pass. I'm prepared for everything because preparation prevents a lot of things from happening and going wrong. But when you don't have any employment, you lose your mind. You know, some scripture tells you to fast twice a week.
Right.
So you could not eat all day and you're about to lose your mind. But you're supposed to fast to be prepared for that type of stuff. You know, it's just, there's so much about the order that we don't pay attention to. Now, I've often said I learned how to be a steward from watching ants and bees. That's how I learned how to be a steward, how to serve, how to do something without complaining, how to do something until it's done.
Right.
You know, I don't need a break. I don't need a smoke break. Let's get it done. It's just, you know, everything that we have. You were speaking about the emblem with the sisters, the emblems within the star. It's very few look at those specific emblems and look at what they allude to. Hold
on just a second. I'm reading a comment from Sister Erica. She put, why can't there be a divine feminine and a divine masculine united as sources as shown me in life messages? Oh, you know what, Sister Erica? You are right. To be
she said, why can't it be a what?
A divine feminine and a divine masculine unit. Unit
how? You mean a woman
as a
being
source
on her own and a man being on his own?
No, I think she's saying united. I'm sorry, united as a source as shown me in life messages.
So she's saying, why can't it be a divine feminine and masculine unit, united?
Yes, as a source as shown me in her, you know, as shown her in her life.
I've never had an issue with that. This is what I speak on in reference. See, I've never had a problem with women speaking up and women doing this, that, and being all leaders and this, that, and other. I've never had an issue with that. A woman was my first leader. A woman was my first representation of God until I got my understanding. That's called a mother.
Okay.
But I'll use it in the the same context that it was given to me.
Mm-hmm.
When men are
Mm-hmm.
called to action, and men need to do what they need to do
Uh-huh.
in order to make it safe for you
Mm-hmm.
as my woman, I don't need to be turning around looking for you to see if you're okay or where you at and wonder if you're in trouble.
Right.
I need you somewhere safe. That's why I asked you to stay home and take care and nurture the home and let me bring what I got to bring up into the home.
Because
I don't need you out here next to me. I don't need you out here doing this, that, and other. It ain't the fact that you can't do it.
Uh-huh.
See, there are a lot of women that love to do everything and they can do all this and they all independent, as they call it, and want to do all of these things. And they're doing all of these things. Sure you are, but you don't want to.
Mm-hmm.
See, you don't have a problem paying your bills and you doing all, I got all of that. But that ain't what you want to do. Because see, if I'm of no use to you, how you gonna make more of me?
That's true. If I'm no use to you, how are you going to make more of me? Absolutely.
If
This
I'm
is
of no use to you,
uh-huh.
how am I gonna make? Oh, so basically I'll adopt. That's something technical and that's something asinine to say. Or I'll just get artificially inseminated. Okay, that's also asinine. If it's gotten to the point where a man has done so much to where you feel, I hear about the empowerment. Or when were you ever not empowered? I hear about all of these things to where the women feel like they're just less than. That's never been that way.
Uh-huh.
Because you really haven't read the history of how you even came about in this order.
Mm-hmm.
Because see, you were created in this order so you would know where your man is at, and so you could have an adoptive, androgynous, helpful place in being next to us. That's in the book. All that stuff is written. I ain't giving you my emotions.
Right.
I'm telling you why you were created, period. But then once it started, then it turns into, well, like some sisters say, well, man ain't got nothing to say. Man, you start innovating, start doing your own thing. Now you want to know why we ain't got no this, why we can't learn this, why we can't know. Who told you that? Nobody's ever told you that. You're adopted. There's nothing that the men are doing that you should know.
There you go.
Know it in your own context.
There you go.
But you want to do your own thing so much. I want to have my own identity. Well, that's the problem. It ain't about you in this order. You cannot exist in the order without a covering. That's the reason why the male's emblem is on top of yours as a patron, as a covering. Not that we above you. That's carnal mindset.
Mm-hmm.
You my rib. What do ribs do?
And I'm gonna say this here to Sister Erica, and I often hear the slogan, behind every great man there is a great woman. But as I'm going back to what you said, Sister Erica, behind every great woman there is definitely a great man somewhere, whether it be her father, whether it be her husband, or her uncle. Someone has influenced her to be as great as she is, and there's a man somewhere in that picture. So behind each of us, there's the great opposite. And then when you see that, then you have the female and male masculinity. You have that positive energy. It goes right back to what Brother Christopher was saying. If you are in my life and you are not depositing anything worth me building upon, or if I'm not depositing anything worth you building upon, we shouldn't even be having a conversation, because we're doing each other no good. We're not bouncing off each other. The process.
Where did Jesus cast all of this? Where did Jesus cast all of the ills of the world? Into the what?
Swine.
Wherever all of the raggedy ass women are, that's where
I said the swine. I said he cast the swine.
Exactly. That's where they were, in the swine. Wherever all the raggedy men are, that's where all the raggedy women are.
Right.
It's never been different. All of the swine are in the what? The muck, the mud, the slop.
Yeah.
Wherever the raggedy women are, that's what. See, if you're upstanding and you have all of this substance and you are a woman of integrity, a garbage dude don't even want to talk to you. He's scared to talk to you because he don't have enough God in him. See, I'll say this again. The reason why you all ain't seeing men out here like you want to see is because you don't have a description of one. See,
Woo!
if your fathers were the shit, then your man that you meet either meets or exceeds him, and you ain't got no problem out of him at all. But it's the consistency you have to see in him. So you can't get like, now, since you don't like Steve Harvey, you know, so you can't get that booty up Tuesday and you met him Friday. Because now he has nothing to look forward to. Now, since we want to get off into this thing about the male and the female, the reason why your womb sits where it does is because it's something that has to be located. It has to be fought for. See, I can get in, can't no water get to it unless you cock your legs open.
Sure can't.
Other than that, it stays protected. It stays without any type of harm. So when I'm going hunting and I go to South Africa and I spend this $150,000 to hunt this white buffalo, I said hunt it. It didn't mean I find one. It says to look for it.
Yes.
Whether I find it or not, I still got to spend that $150,000.
You got to spend it.
I got all this gear on. I got my rifle. I got everything on. It looked like I'm going on a true safari. I walk about the hunting lodge and the white buffalo laying right in front of the room. I don't even want to kill it because I had no worth to find it. I had no way to hunt for it. There was zero effort.
Correct.
The harvest is plentiful. That means it's plenty booty out here, but the laborers are few. Don't nobody want to work for it.
And I'm going to tell you this here. Anything that's hidden, gold, iron, silver, pearls, anything precious is always anything that is covered, it's hidden, is precious. Period.
I ask women all the time.
This is why the sisters wear what they wear in the nation, and also
3/4 cloth. 3/4 cloth.
Hey, everything. It's precious.
How do you miss? You sit up and you dance, you swaying back and forth, you're rhyming, you know you're all I need by Mary J and Method Man, but you never really sat up and dissected the words. Because see, I could break that whole song down with people. So it's like I said, when you're dealing with the hidden part of your womb, when a man digs for gold, he has to do a lot of labor.
That's all I'm saying.
He's finding a lot of fool's gold. He's finding a lot of stuff that ain't what he thought it was. He's just throwing it back. But he's steady digging until he finally strike it rich. So when a man has to work and have some effort to get in your drawers, he feels like you're worth the catch.
Oh, for sure.
You see, there's a difference between a pillow stain and a pillowcase. Which one are you? Any woman USA, you a pillow stain or you a pillowcase? Are you clearance rack or are you glass case? Because see, clearance rack items get handled any kind of way.
That's right.
Just a basket full of patties, 5 for $1.
Yep.
Sitting up in Family Dollar. But glass case items don't even have value. I don't care nothing about how you think you feel. I'm talking about when people talk to you.
Yeah.
How do they respect you? Do they speak to you with some type of respect and admiration? Or do they talk to you like you got friendly booty?
He said friendly booty. Oh my goodness. Woo. Wow. Friendly booty. I've heard it all tonight. Well, certainly, it has been a joy. We're about at the 143 point tonight. And I think that right there, that says it all right there. Sums up the whole show tonight. And I know that the topic says ancient masonry, but I think anytime that we come on here and I have guests, we cover a broad spectrum of Freemasonry and the Order of the Eastern Star. And I think Brother Christopher Jackson, he brings that. I've had Brother House on here, he's brought that. I've had Brother Stevens on here, he's brought that. So my objective is to have different people to bring a different perspective of the craft, of the order, to just let you know, hey, this thing is beautiful. It's just how we handled it. You know, I'm not going to throw my jewels to the swine. I'm not going to do that. You know, my objective is to take it, clean it up, and say, look at my life. Let my light shine because I ain't got time, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So, you got any last words for us, bro?
If anyone ever accuses you of being a Mason or an Eastern Star, will there be sufficient enough evidence to convict you? Or will they see you and say they have mistaken identity?
Mm.
Good night.
Well, someone asks, hey, anybody who wants to come check out this page is welcome to come check out this page. Absolutely. Have them to subscribe, to hit the ding button, you know, the little bell, let you know we're going to come on. And they're welcome to come on. Now, Brother Jackson, he can call the show anytime he wants to. He just has that open block with me. And we're going to be talking offline about some things too, because he asked me to come on back home and do some work for him. So we're going to be talking offline about that, Brother Chris.
Mm-hmm.
Just so you know. Your word, your message didn't fall on deaf ears, okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So definitely, and Sister Erica, if you want to hit me up tonight, you're certainly welcome to do that. I don't know what your time slot is, but you can hit me up in about maybe 10 minutes, 619-985-1184. You can just give me a call on my cell, and definitely we can go from there. But we all good tonight. I've enjoyed the show myself. I really have. So I'm looking forward to next time. So today, my next show is going to be Saturday. All goes well. We're going to be here Saturday. My time is 6 o'clock Pacific time. West Coast time, 6 o'clock. So if you can come on, you're certainly welcome to join us Saturday at 6 p.m. West Coast. So until I see you and until I meet you again,
All right.
we're going to make it happen. We'll do. I may need an hour. Well, welcome to give me a call. You got an hour, just give me a call. So
All right.
everybody, be blessed and don't be stressed. Make it do what it do. Stay out the bushes and keep your light on. I'm out.
All right.
All right, thank you.